Hey, good morning, everyone. We're coming to you live from the Brazilian Grand Prix in São Paulo. This is the second to last race of this year. As things stand, the constructors have been wrapped up by Red Bull, and pretty much Verstappen has wrapped up the World Championship for this year. So pretty much what we're playing for is basically bragging rights. How are we doing? And my name is Grash, and I'm going to be your commentary today for free practice one. We're about 5 minutes before um, the practice begins. Give you guys a moment to funnel into. So, news this morning. During the F1 weekend roundup, it was basically the commentators on that show revealed that Lando Norris had basically food poisoning. I think the day before. So it is he going to be in the car today? Is he not going to be in the car today? That is the question that we will see. Those who are following F1, Sky Sports, or ESPN, their broadcast has just begun, so we are in under that 5 minute mark right now. So one of the things that we've got to deal with this particular weekend, it is a sprint weekend. So today we have free practice one right now in about 5 minutes, starting 5 minutes. Um, then in after this session, it'll be about 2.5 hours, and we will have qualification today. So I'll be here with you today for free practice one, tomorrow free practice two. So tomorrow will be free practice two because qualification will be today. I'll be here today, all day today, and tomorrow into free practice two. And then we will have the sprint race on tomorrow after free practice two, and then Sunday will be the race itself. Right now we're looking at Lagos. Basically, it's got an elevation of 43 meters, about I'd say 2 kilometers long. Um, the compounds that they're going to be using this weekend are the C4, C3, C2. So the three middle ones, basically. Um, of course, the intermediates and the wets will be available if it rains. Now, for this particular session, the prediction is that there's a no risk of rain if for the first faction is 0%. This is coming from the F1 website themselves. Just looking through for any more. Mercedes has posted Lewis's Hamilton's custom helmet for this weekend, which includes colors of the Brazilian flag and the Brazilian flag itself. He is a honorary citizen of Brazil, so that adds an interesting this so therefore this becomes a second home race for Lewis Hamilton in a weird way. Just take a look at what has been said in chat so far. Do you guys have any questions for me? Just at me in chat, and I will it will show up and it will highlight in chat for me, and I can better answer your questions. So, question about the circus. Commander Lewis of Skipton is saying, "Trust me, Interlagos is a god tier track." There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of uh, history in terms of champions won, champions lost. If you're listening to Alonso Fernando in that regards, um, we're getting closer now. We're almost at that. We're in that 1 minute mark now, just before the green light goes on for everyone. and it looks like Lando Norris has posted himself on the grid. Basically, a picture of him saying you can't get rid of me that easy. So he's looking well for someone who's been sick the past few days. If you guys can do a favor right now, if you have not liked this video, please do so. It helps the channel, helps us get a better reach to more people. There is about of you. How many are you watching right now? It's about 300 of you up early this morning. We have the green light, and who is Haas's are out first onto the track. Oh, it's a Haas and Alfa Romeo, Alpine, both Alfa Romeos. One of the Ferraris is now out. Francisco, even though there looks like thunderstorms all weekend, for this practice session, there is no chance of rain or any precipitation. Like it's not going to affect this practice over the next hour. So let's go over one more time. So the schedule for this weekend looks there'll be practice one about 60-minute session right now. So we're not doing any weird Pirelli test. Qualification will be later today, and that is I can bring up the track time. So I'm coming for you from the Eastern time zone. I'm about 2 hours behind Interlagos right now. So for me, it is about 10:30, just starting 10:30 a.m. Track time is 12:30. Um, Qualifying for me will be 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. Track time. So and if you want to know exactly like when the practice qualifications, all the events, go to the F1 website. If you scroll down, there's a section where they have basically a section basically where it will convert the track time to your local time. So this has been a great tool to make sure that I woke up on time to mod you guys when I'm not on here with you. So we're getting our first laps in. One of the Red Bulls is out. So we've got Magazine Bottas, Ocon, Zhao, Sainz, Schumacher, Norris, uh, Stroll, Latifi, Hamilton, Gasly, Alonso, Leclerc, Sonoda out on track already. Verstappen, Perez, and Vettel look like they're out. They're on track. So the only three out not on track yet is Ricciardo, Russell, Albon, and I believe one of the Red Bulls is going slowly. Appears to be going slowly. Both of the Red Bulls are going slowly. Ooh, that's not good and potentially dangerous at the moment. What's going on? So Max Verstappen starting a flying lap, and Checo looks like is right behind him. And we have a super chat from Francisco Bengania 63. He was looking for Lewis to win or Ferrari. Honestly, Max wins. It's interesting. I mean, basically, um, Red Bull has been pretty dominant. So far, Hamilton is now up on top of the leaderboard, P1 with a 1:15.08. The other 1:15s is Magnussen, P2, and Ocon, P3. Again, up here goes Perez now in a 1:14. 114.616. We'll see how Verstappen does in one moment. So you can notice that the map is not working right now. That is usually the case in FP1. Every time we've got to calibrate, basically the map. This is how I understand it. The map that you see here is being provided to us by another third party, and they take most of FP1 to calibrate the map and to get it up and running. So you probably won't see it for another, if it starts working, the soonest I've seen it has been like 20 minutes, 30 minutes in a session, but I've seen it like them take all like 50 minutes into the session. So please be patient right now, as they're basically it's being calibrated, and it basically we're just waiting for it to just come alive for us, and it will. So Perez again has is the fastest time P1 1:14:47. Alonso and Russell have set P2 P3 with 1:14:47, and then Alonso with a 1:14:859. See who is in the pits right now. Basically just Aston Martin in the pits. We have not set a time, and Albon is out on outlap. Everyone else has at this point set a time of some sort. So Jose Martinez is saying, yeah, Red Bull is too dominant this season, and that they have been very dominant. And this is one of those questions of is it a Red Bull thing, or did Ferrari really drop the ball? Um, did Mercedes drop the ball? The Mercedes says that they've dropped the ball. So we've got some new Verstappen and Bottas have gone P1, P2. Verstappen is a 1:4:04. Bottas with the same time, but he is, because he set it second, he is now he's P2 as a P1. Let me see what else is going on at the moment. Here we go. So Stroll is now finally on an out lap, and I think that leaves Vettel, who's left, still in the garage. Looking through. Yes, Paul. So one of the things that you can do is that after subscribing, you can also join the channel, and with that, you can get perks for the channel. One of them particularly is special emojis that are specific to this channel, and I've used them in the past when I haven't been modding. Um, Payment details are secure. I mean, you're talking about is this going through Google's backend system? So basically, I'm a member. I've been a member for over a year. I was a member before became a mod, and then now as a moderator and a commentator now. So we're about, again, yeah, coming out on the first 10 minutes in this session. If you guys haven't had a chance to like this stream, that'd be great for us. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Will help reach us out to more people and bring more people into chat. And someone who's got a name of Error 404, they request to show the tire compounds used by drivers on stream. If you wait, you will see those pop up on the stream. It basically there's a section of like lap, gap, points those three columns those cycle through through different sets of information. If you just wait, you will see that who's on what tire compound in there. If you absolutely have to um, see it right now, I would go to the F1 website and look at because they've got information there as well. Bottas has set a 1:13 and has gone P1 so far. He did a 1:13.807. We've got signs on a flying lap they're showing at the moment. And he's done, let's see, he's in his the flying session. He is coming to the line. So Sainz is 1 second off in sector one. He's now in sector two. And he's another second off with a point, now losing another 0.1. Verstappen has gone to the top of the leaderboard. He's got a 1:13.646 for a time for lap time. And he's doing this on a hard compound. Bottas did his, looks like on a medium compound. So it's interesting to see how fast already just on the hards Max is. So while we have time, let's talk about the driver market right now. So as things stand right now, there are only two seats that are not officially locked up. The first seat is the Williams seat. Now, Logan Sargent is basically slated to take that seat. It is not 100% confirmed right now because we're waiting for him to basically get his super license points. Basically, we'll find out next weekend. Basically, he needs to finish in the top six within the F2 this year to get to basically he's to get enough super license points to get that seat for next year. So that is pretty much a we'll see next week. The other seat right now is the Haas seat that Schumacher sits in right now, and it stands right now. We have no clue how that is going to do. Rumor says that it's between Schumacher and Nico Hulkenberg, but Haas has pretty much said they are not going to do anything until an end of the season. So we won't know probably 2-3 weeks from now when they make a decision, and they're on their own timeline for that. Um, Haas is in a very interesting place at the moment. One of the things that's going on is that Gene Haas is the owner. He is not only he's the owner of the F1 team here, but he has a NASCAR team that he runs with Tony Stewart. So it's Stewart Haas Racing is the NASCAR team, and things are not going well with that relationship. Things are not going well with Tony Stewart. Basically he's basically the other owner of the NASCAR team is taunting NASCAR because things have gone wrong. Things have gone. He's not having fun basically. So it'll be interesting, how things go on that side if you guys are paying attention. So we did have one super chat from King Shoes Rolling Studios. Loving to see you all back. How are we all doing? I am doing wonderful this morning. This is having a fun time with you guys looking at free practice one. So if you guys could, as we get more of us fill in, there's about 1,000 you guys now just about watching at this point. Um, We'd love to hear from where you guys are from. Again, right now I'm in the United States, and I'm in the Northeast section, the New England section, particularly the state of Connecticut. Um, Basically, the if you guys know any part of the United States, um, the two biggest cities that I am close to is Boston and New York City, and I'm about equally distanced, leaning more towards Boston. Um, between those two cities. Um, we've got people come from Brazil, South Africa, we've got South Texas, Belgium, Minnesota, another state in the United States, Zandvoort, which is Holland. Um, Victoria is from New Zealand, but they say they're in Austin right now. We've got someone from India, Germany. Wow, again, you guys, it's Baltimore, which is in Maryland. Bangladesh, Cape Town, South Africa, Turkey, Germany. Again, again, you guys are we're a global community, and I'm glad to be giving you information as I can provide it. And it looks like Verstappen has improved his time, and he's got a 1:13.575. So more of you, some people from St. Paul, which is Minnesota. There is Florida, Taiwan, India, Washington State from the United States, South Africa. Uh, People who are in England, but from Austria, New York City, Philippines, Ethiopia, Vancouver, which is in Canada, Poland, Ampersand, uh, Zawiki Sali, which is in Poland. Hope I pronounced that correctly. If I did not, you can yell at me. We've got people from Japan, Germany, Malaysia, Ukraine, the state of Georgia in the United States, New Zealand again. Someone says they're from Mordor. You, sir, have not have a sunny day in a long time. So one of the things right now is that right now we're seeing teams that are pretty much they're on the mediums and they're on the hards. Because basically, again, they're trying to set up the car as fast as they can. Um, because basically later today is going to be qualification. So let's talk. For me, unfortunately, they've got ESPN has gone to a commercial, and that likely is the case with Sky Sports for those who are watching it. Let's talk about the sprint weekend. Um, so basically, again, the schedule as we talked about, FP1 is now, and then later today will be the qualification. And basically, it's going to be quality as you know, like on Saturday. So what happens is after so the person who takes so basically pole is determined by the qualification session that happens today. Now I understand that that's the designation. The pole winner, as it will be recorded, is who comes out fastest today in the qualification session. What will then happen tomorrow? There'll be FP2, and then we'll then have a sprint race tomorrow afternoon. Sprint race is 100 kilometers long, and there's no required tire. So basically, it's one and done. So there'll be no tire changes during the sprint race. It is so basically you'll see everyone either on the um, the mediums or the softs because we're just going as fast as possible. Um, the finishing or so the two things that happen is that the top eight people in the top eight drivers in the sprint race get points, and it's like 8 points dropping down to 1 point at the end. The other scenario is that is that the order of the finishing in the sprint race will be the order of the race starting Sunday. So we will have essentially two starts of like a start of the sprint race, start of the race itself. And that is one of the things. One way to look at it is that it's one race with a you know after 100 kilometers, red flag. We come back tomorrow, start up again. Question is, will be able to watch the live competition qualifying in F1 TV? Yes, you should be able to see practice and quality, the sprint race and the race it's proper itself on F1 TV. Um, Danish Rusty saying, "Hi, it looks like I came in late, but how is FP1 so far?" Um, so far so good. We've seen a lot of most of the drivers have done about 10 laps. Again, we're about to only 20 minutes in. They've been on mostly on hards and mediums. And again, they really need to save those softs for later today and the race. If they're going to use the softs, you will see them later today for the sprint and for um, qualification. King Chu is asking if anyone else is excited for the sprint race. If you guys can give me a big thumbs up in chat to see if you are. Thumbs down if you don't like the qualify if you don't like the sprint race. We got one of the Aston Martins coming to the garage. No, Zell, the qualification will be today. So what would be normally free practice 2 is going to be qualification today. Tomorrow, when the session that would normally be qualification, that's when the sprint race is going to be. Nagilji is asking about which teams either field a reserve driver for practice sessions. I don't have that information on top for me. I know there's a few left, and that we'll see them definitely next week in Abu Dhabi for the finale. That is important because every team has to run a new driver in FP1 during the year. So that's something that we'll have to track. We'll have to find more information on. Um, Sparkin asks, could Merck beat Ferrari? And it is possible. So one of the while constructors is basically settled at this point. So what we're looking at right now is that there is about 40 points difference between Ferrari and Mercedes. It is not outside the realm of possibility that Mercedes could overtake Ferrari. If Ferrari has a bad day, another bad day, which they've had throughout this season, um, Mercedes could jump into that P2 location. The next battle that we're looking at is Alpine versus McLaren, and that's a much closer fight. That is about coming in. Let me see. It's about 7 points difference between Alpine so advantage Alpine. The question with Alpine is, are they going to um, is reliability that they've been having issues with reliability all year long. Um, and if that strikes them, that opens up to a McLaren. The question with McLaren is whether both Norris and Ricciardo are going to show up and perform as the all-star, the elite drivers that they are. Like right now, they are both of those drivers are in P14 and P15. Ricciardo has had a dismal season. Whether and this is not about person, I know a lot of you love Ricciardo for his personality and whatnot, but performance, he has had a horrible season. Off the pace, less points that he's this is one of his worst seasons he's ever had in terms of points. So as I'm talking, Perez just jumped up to P3 with a 113.972, and that's his best lap so far. He is on softs right now, and then Schumacher is the only one on track right now on mediums. So the question is, if it's a question of does McLaren show up as the all-star drivers that they have, or does the reliability of Alpine bite them in behind? Yeah, it's those are the two factors that are in play here. That's the second battle, the Alpine versus McLaren that we're looking at. Then we get down into the back markers, which is Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, Haas, and AlphaTauri. And basically, this is the next top four of the rest. And basically, we've got Alfa Romeo at 53, Aston Martin at 49, Haas at 36, and then AlphaTauri at 35. Definitely, we've got if any of them have a great day and they earn more than they share a handful of points, that's going to shuffle that up. Um, Again, in P10, in the constructor standings is Williams with only 8 points, and yeah, the Williams is not going to move out of P10 this year, so that is it is what it is, unfortunately. Okay. So we've got Perez right now having done a 1:11.835, and we have Schumacher at 1:13.380. The only one else who appears to be on track is Magnussen at the moment. So those guys are taking advantage of some clean air to set some really fast times in here in P1. Yeah, A guy 110.13 says the only way for Williams to move up is to win 2 times in a row. And that's true. And it's not going to happen as well at the same time. The Williams car is just it's just not there. Magnussen has jumped up to P2 with a 113.176. So one of the stories that is going on right now is with Pierre Gasly, and right now Sky is talking to Otmar from Alpine about it. So the situation is that since May, Pierre Gasly has racked up about 10 penalty points. He is 2 points away from being so if he gets two more penalty points, he will take a one race ban, suspension, I should say. And it's unfortunate that he's picked up all these points um, with AlphaTauri. He's now moving to Alpine next year. So yeah, you're going to see him, on he's not going to be driving particularly the same. Um, One of the points of contention is that during that basically that moment of super rain a few he was basically the FI pegged him for having been speeding when a red flag was out. And this is him going around, him speeding under a red flag as he's going around the tractor on the track, which is I don't know what to tell you guys. Um, so it's just been not a good year for him over in AlphaTauri. See if there are any questions from you guys in chat. If you guys have any questions, again, just at me again at Grash, and I'll just put my you guys at me in chat. I will see it will I will see my name highlighted and will help me look at what you guys are asking. So in the a few moments ago, we had Perez and Verstappen go P1, P2. Perez with both of them in the 111s. Perez doing an 88.53, and then Verstappen doing an 8.61. So we're just more than just a tenth. Um, yeah, no, no, one hundred. Yeah, 100 difference between the two of them. Paposens will meet Nick have a seat next year. We talked about this earlier. We don't know. Haas has basically made it clear that they're going to make that decision sometime after the next race, which is next week. And it's either between Mick and Nick and Hulkenberg. So this is a very odd session right now. Hamilton just jumped up to P5 with a 113.774. So we got Red Bull in P1, P2, but we've got Magnussen P3 and Schumacher P4, Hamilton P5, Bottas P6. You'll reliable Bottas showing up. Sainz Leclerc P7, P8, Russell P9, Ocon P10. Zhao Alonso, Vettel round out what would be the best on 114 on track, which is again 3 seconds. Yeah, 3 seconds slower than Perez and Verstappen's times. So one of the things that's going on right now, this is being reported on the F1 website, is that Mercedes right now is running different wings on their cars. So Hamilton has a particular wing that he's running right now, and Russell's running a different particular wing. Zhao has just jumped up as I'm talking. Zhao's jumped up into P7 with a 113.463. I'm just trying to think. Alonso has jumped up to P3 with a 112.763. Albon P5 with a 112.968. So, question for me: will I be streaming for quality sprint in the final? No, I'm just going to be doing the two practices and quali. Ryan should be doing, as I understand, should be doing the sprint race and the race itself. MYK is asking if I watched the DR30 podcast. I don't. I didn't know that Daniel Ricciardo had a podcast in that regard. So that's something I'll probably be looking up between now and qualification later today or after qualification if I don't get time. Got a few Lewis Hamilton fans in chat. I know there's a few Verstappen fans in chat. See, Leclerc has had posted a new time, a 1:12.404. Alonso 1:12.763. And that is true, Gazelle, that he's back on track after having food poisoning. Again, that's just like he probably got it 2 days ago and recovered yesterday. He's back today. So food poisoning is something you get it, you flush it out of your system, and basically you're back, pretty much back to basically being normal for the most part. Having said that, he's only P18 right now, 115. Then again, Ricardo's doing no better with a 115 as well. What was the first Grand Prix I've ever watched? I think it was Bahrain last year. Um, I was following with the channel last year. Um, Trying to think which I didn't see. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the order of the races last year, but I'll be honest with you guys that I've only been following F1 for a short amount of time. Now, granted, I pick up information and soak it in like a sponge, so I'm able to understand what's going on and report back to you what is going on track. We've got over 1,000 of you watching now. I want to thank you guys for coming. We've got only about 162 likes on this. If you guys could give us more likes, if you haven't liked this, it would be helpful to open up the get us more get us basically more people into the channel and expand who we're talking with. You haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you can, you join the channel. There are some perks. I'll show you right now. There are. Hello. You guys watching in chat, I've just posted all the special emojis that you guys can use, and I've used them a lot myself. Over the past year, being associated with the channel. Doesn't look like much has changed on the board. It looks like Stroll has moved up to a P11 with a 113.563. Um, we've got Verstappen with Kirk on an outlap. We've got Sainz on an outlap. Sainz down in P14, which is not looking great for Ferrari. Yeah, Sainz out of the points. Well, Hamilton's out of the points and Russell's out of the points. So this is just they're trying different things. Again, you've got Norris Ricciardo down P19, P20, which so again we talked about those battles going on. Yeah, I mean Alpine is just they're performing. Alonso and you know Alonso's up there. Ocon's not performing so great. He's only P18, but every single point is going to matter in that fight between those two because they're so close. Game Boy says in chat, "Who's your favorite driver?" And he says his is Norris. If you guys want to drop in chat, who's your favorite driver? That'd be cool to see how things are. Yeah, El Cash Norris has been on track. Um he is actually on. He believe he's on track. Yeah, he is on track now. He just passed Gasly on track, and is going to pass Zhao in a moment if you follow the map. So he's on track right now. He's not doing well. So, not sure what's going on. So here we go. So we've seen some Norris, Vettel, Lewis, more. Someone has Russell, someone has Science, and there we go. So we've got now Leclerc and Science P2, P3, P4, both 112s with a Science with a 112, 104. Leclerc 112, 349. King Chu says that his was Grosjean, now Zhao. Grosjean had a good year in IndyCar this year. That's the one thing I will say. He had a decently good year. He had moments where he like the Indianapolis 500 was doing really well and the car gave out. Something went wrong. He did get I believe he got a P2 early on in the season, which took everyone by surprise. Put a mark in the stand that he was, a talent. He was not, he was there to race and he was good to go for racing. So F1 is recording that Ricardo looks to be working on a longer run pace out there. He's on 18 laps and counting on his original C2 rubber. Norris is out there on his hard tires. McLaren leaving late to make the switch to other compounds here. So they're on hards. Yeah, no, Ricardo's on now almost 20 laps on hards. So we've just passed. We've got about under 20 minutes, about 18 and a half minutes now in the session. Again, I'm watching ESPN, and um, unfortunately, they've gone to a commercial. So the best I can give you at the moment is what I can see on the map and what is on the timing sheet. You guys can watch as well. Some Leclerc, someone is a Honey Badger fan, Bottas fan. Yeah, this has not been a consistent year for McLaren at all, so that's unfortunate. Give you those of you weren't here at the beginning. My name is Grash. I am your commentator for today. I am from the United States. Outside of F1 commentary, I do stream on Twitch. Um, I've been for this month. I've been making sure that I'm streaming at least an hour every day, whether it's gameplay, me doing something in Minecraft, or level design. I've been doing level design for Quake One for a jam that just got released yesterday. Um, Professionally, I have been in the game industry. Basically, I have credits on major IPs to my name, and I've also been an educator for game development. And then first, aim music on violin, saying that another Max win, unfortunately, in Ferrari fails for nothing, only P4 or 3. Yeah, it it just it's just how things are looking right now. Unfortunately, it's going to take inactive God, aka DNF, to not have Max or Peck Checo to win. I mean, don't get me wrong. Max is 114. Checo is 1-2. This is like that's 16 wins between those two for Red Bull this year. That's so as a team, Red Bull has been dominant. See what else you guys have been talking about in chat. So again, Red Bull has been dominant this year, but we do need to know. Last year they did breach the cost cap. And that came with the penalty was a $7 million penalty. And then there was also a 10% reduction in development time, which includes wind tunnel time. So that will hit the team. And there's really not much I can, that it's going to affect the team. It will, something that will affect the team next year, and it will maybe lag into 2024 as well. So something is going on with Aston Martin. I'm not sure what it is at the moment. So Stroll is pulled into the pit saying there's something wrong with the car. What is something that we don't know as of yet? Again, in chat, we have a going through. Yeah. Again, who won 2021 is a matter of fact now. It's what who you think should have won is your opinion, unfortunately. Yeah, George Russell at the moment. I'm watching. I don't see anything. I know someone else says Russell's over the place. I'm not seeing him. Is it replay? Oh yeah, there was a bit of a lockup on his wheel. So if you head to the F1 website, you scroll down. Basically after all the news and latest articles, there'll be a section where you can see your time versus the track time, and there's this nice little Rolex. They'll pop up to Brazil, and there'll be a section of showing your the time, and it'll be a nice little Rolex. Underneath, you'll see that the practice, qualification, practice two, sprint, and race, the times for them will all be there, and you can convert between track time and your local time. So for me, I'm in the Eastern time zone. So my time right now is 11:18 a.m. Track time is 1:18 p.m. So I'm 2 hours behind the track. So for me, qualification in the Eastern time zone is going to be um, 2 p.m. But it's going to be 4 p.m. track time. And again, it's a wonderful widget on the F1 website. I highly suggest you take a look at them, so that again, Interlagos right now is 1:19 p.m. It will do the math for you. So you don't need to like worry about how when that will be. Watching a replay of Ferrari at the moment as it goes around. So Sky is wondering whether if one of the Ferraris got dirty air off the back of Russell. Yeah, that kind of be the scenario. So basically, Spartacus says that McLaren's doing some setups though, and that is pretty much that's something that at F1 did report is that I mean I think Ricciardo did almost 20. Last I checked, he had done like 20 laps on the hards. At some point, the stream will the timing sheet will show what they've used for their tires. Looks like we have a new time for Vettel for 112, 157, and Gasly he jumped up to P8 to 112, 467. Magnussen at 112.99. Stroll 113.018. So those are the new times that are on the board right now. Perez still has the P1 fastest lap, which was a 111. And again, Andre is asking what happened with McLaren. McLaren has opted to test things out, done more race runs than qualification type stuff. So that's basically what has been going on with McLaren at this point. So Russell on a flying lap, and Sky is falling along with him at the moment. Coming up to section 1, and he is slightly slower by 7 thousandths of a second. So 0.007 slower. Russell's now plus 0.2, 202. So he's flying. He's flying. He's pushing it. We'll see how he does in this third sector. Russell sets a 112.055. Ooh, it looks like Hamilton hitting those curbs hard and sparks going everywhere. He probably hit his floorboard as well and locking up his tires as well. Ugh. Looks impressive, but not good for the car. Gasly hitting the curbs. Tokyo drifts on. Oh, more Tokyo drifts onto the curbs. So both of the Ferraris are now coming onto an outlap. So Ferrari has Ciao Ferraro, and I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but it basically it is So Long Fury. It is the nickname of one of the trusted engineers of Enzo Ferrari, who died shortly after uh, the the Mexican Grand Prix. So big happy birthday to Jose Martinez, who's turning a new year yet. Says he's getting old, but not saying how old. Of course, Mr. McCreed is wishing him his happiest 50th, which is probably a best estimate right now. So we're coming to 5 minutes left in the session. If you've not liked this video so far, the stream, please do so. It will help us as we continue to grow. Sonoda is complaining about just sliding around and swearing at the same time. If you haven't subscribed, that would be, if you like what you're seeing, you can subscribe, hit the bell, you'll get notified when we go live again, which will be in about 2.5 hours for qualification. So Clerk is doing about 230 in the 250, 260, 270 miles per kilometers per hour. We're going to 140, 130 ish through the, you see, turn eight and turn nine. In chat, I'm dropping the Discord link for you guys. If you guys have enjoyed this session, you enjoyed chatting, come join us in the Discord channel. We'll be continuing basically this chat over there, and we'll probably have a post quali chat in another voice chats on our Discord server, probably after quality, given how things have been going lately. Leclerc going P2, 111.857. Sainz doing a 112.039. So we've split the Red Bull here. So as we go into the last few minutes, Perez, Clerc, Verstappen, Sainz, top four. Hamilton and Russell take P5, P6 so far. Vettel, Schumacher, Bottas, Gasly, Renault, the top 10. Alonso, P11. Albon, Ocon, Stroll, Norris to P15. And then Magnussen, Latifi, Zhao, Sonoda, Ricciardo in the last five. So one thing to note as we come into 2 minutes ago, 1 minute and a half to go. When we are done with quali, the cars will be in parc ferme, which is basically they can't make major changes to the car. Repairs, yes. Switch out parts, that's penalties, obviously. But like small wing changes and suspension changes are allowed. That's basically are allowed. Yeah, they're like the list of changes that can happen are like super small. So any teams that didn't do a soft tire run Like Ricciardo did not run on the soft tires. We have no clue how his car is going to, perform on that soft tire. We got trying to see who is improving anywhere, anything showing up in this last minute. Everyone's trying to do a flying lap at this point. It- Vettel doing. Let me see. He's in the end. He is coming to the line. And he's going to be just a 0.94 slower. That's putting in P7. Not much of an improvement there by here. And the flag is out. So Russell's done, Bottas is done, Alonso is done, Gasly's done. Stroll slightly improves but it's only P14 at 112.759. Comes a Red Bull, and that is Checo. So again, let's go over how again the session is over right now. If people are finishing their again, Verstappen is a 0.008 behind Checo. Leclerc, slightly faster than Verstappen. So again, what's going to happen in 2.5 hours? We are going to see our qualification session for this weekend, and that will determine the pole sitter as designated for this race, and it will also set the grid for the sprint race itself. I'm just looking at what we have. So again, finished now. So again, our top three is Perez, Leclerc, Verstappen. They were all within 0.008 of each other. Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, 4, 5, 6. Vettel, Schumacher, Bottas, and Gasly round out the top 10. So not much changed in the last minute of this session. So what you're seeing right now is that the cars, everyone got on track because they've gone around, and now they're coming to the start line, and they're doing basically practice starts. You see that the lights are going basically 5 lights and then turning off, and doing 5 lights again, turning off. And that's basically right now we're just doing practice starts. So it looks like Albin and Magnussen just did. Uh, Vettel just did his. Yeah, if you look at the track and you see at the line, Vettel just did his start. Hamilton, so a couple others just did their start, and so now I believe, they're coming into the pits now. So, all right. So I've been with you so far for a while. Again, my name is Grash. I've been your commentator for today. Had a time last, talking to you all, explaining what is going on, what's happening on track. Um, In 2.5 hours, will again, as I've said, will be qualification. I will be here for that. I may be joined by someone else. I'm not sure as of yet. That hasn't been confirmed. So I may have a guest with me on qualification who will be asking questions as well. I will be back tomorrow for free practice two. And then I believe Ryan has the sprint race and the race on Sunday itself. So again, our top three is Perez, Leclerc, Verstappen. Times of 1:11.853, Leclerc 8:57, and then sorry, Leclerc 8:57, Verstappen 8:67, and these are all in the 1:11s for the top three. All right. Again, if you haven't liked, subscribed, you please do so. Click on the bell. You'll get notified when we go live again. Again, 2.5 hours from now. Um, and again, I'm going to leave you guys here, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. See you for qualification.